Good morning, children. How are you today? Well, I hope you're all fine, safe, and of course healthy. And so, I welcome you all to this English Grade 5 class, the online learning. I am teacher Lelaine S.J. Alido, your English teacher. Let us start. Now kindly read our objective for today as flashed on the screen. Very good. Yes. Today, you are going to learn about filling out various forms accurately. Specifically, you're going to learn about the following topics. Number 1. Identify the different parts of a form. Number 2. Follow written directions in a document. Number 3. Fill out various forms completely and accurately. Okay, I hope that your minds are all now set for today's learnings. Before we proceed to the next slide, may I ask you, have you experienced filling out a form? What was it like? Why do you need to fill out that form? Can you share your experiences? Okay, please share your experiences about filling out the form. I'll give you 2 minutes to prepare. Wow, I've heard so much from all of your experiences today. Thank you for your active participation in this activity. This time, I want you to prepare your pen and your paper. We're going to have a spelling activity. Ready? Number 1. Biodata. Biodata. Okay, number 2. Bank deposit slip. Bank deposit slip. Number 3. Bank withdrawal slip. Bank withdrawal slip. And number 4, school ID application. School ID application. And the last but not the least number 5, election ballot. Election ballot. Okay? Please check your answers. Now let's do a pronunciation drill about these words that we have learned to spell. My turn and then your turn. Okay, let's have the first word. My turn. Biodata. Biodata. Your turn. Very good. Next word. My turn. Bank deposit slip. Bank deposit slip. Your turn. Wow. Let's go to the next word. Bank withdrawal slip. Bank withdrawal slip. Your turn. Very good. Next word. School ID application. School ID application. Your turn. That's amazing. The last word is election ballot. Election ballot. Your turn. Wow, very good. Thank you, children. This time, I want you to answer the activity flashed on the next slide. This is the direction. Check the corresponding boxes beside the forms that you are already familiar with and know how to fill out. Okay, did you check all the forms in the list? Great! You are already familiar with the topics that will be taken up today. But if you didn't, then please listen and participate with me in this lesson because this will help you fill out these forms step by step. Are you all ready? Now since you are now in grade 5, you are old enough to know these forms and you should learn to fill out the form yourself. Okay, let's study and analyze this form. What kind of a form is this? Very good. Yes, it's a biodata. Now look at the personal data section of the biodata. What does it require us to write? What information do you need to fill out? Is it important for us to be accurate in filling out this form? Why? This time, let us now discuss the parts of a biodata. I want you to read with me. Okay, parts of a biodata. The first one is the name. It is the most important information in any form and refers to your complete name, including your first name, middle name, and family name. So for example, my name is Lelaine San Jose Alido. Next information, the sex refers to your sex, that is either male or female. Next one, provincial address refers to your address in the province where you originally came from. Make sure you include the number of your house, street, village or barangay, or municipality, city or province. You may indicate your zip code too. For example, on my part, my provincial address is 259 Santa Catalina Avenue, Poblacion Glan, Sarangani Province, 9517. Let's go to the next information. The date of birth. It refers to the date when you were born. Make sure you include the month, day, and year of your birth. For example, my date of birth is March 4, 1974. Let's go to the next. The place of birth. It refers to where you were born. The city or municipality of your birth will do. For example, my place of birth or municipality of my birth is Glan. Next, the citizenship. It refers to your nationality. For example, Filipino, American, Indonesian, and etc. Now, since we live in the Philippines, so our citizenship is Filipino. Next, height. It may be expressed in either feet and inches or centimeters. For example, if you are 4 feet and 6 inches tall, you can write either 4 and then apostrophe, then 6, then 2 apostrophe, or 137 centimeter. Next, the weight. It may be expressed in either pounds or kilogram. For example, if you weigh 100 pounds, you can write either 105 pounds or 47.73 kilogram. So what about you? What is your weight? Next, information. Religion. It refers to a cause, principle, or system of beliefs you hold on to. For example, you may be a Roman Catholic, an Islam, or Iglesia ni Cristo. Next, telephone. Refers to the number of your telephone line or the number of where you can be contacted. For example, my telephone line is 553-7845. If you have more than one contact number, you may indicate all of them here. But in this case, if you have no telephone, you may write NA, which stands for not applicable. Now let's go to father's name. It refers to the complete name of your father. For example, the name of my father is Roque Alegado Alido, deceased. Make sure you indicate your father's first name, middle name, and family name. You may choose not to write his middle name in full. In this case, you may simply indicate his middle initial. If your father is already dead, write deceased after his name. Okay, next, occupation. It refers to your father's job. For example, carpenter, farmer, and etc. If he is not working anymore, write retired. Or if he does not have a job at the time you are filling out the biodata, write unemployed. Now the mother's name. It refers to the complete name of your mother. For example, my mother is Maria San Jose Alido. Make sure you indicate your mother's name first, middle name, and family name. You may decide not to write her middle name in full. In this case, you may simply write her middle initial. If your mother is already dead, write deceased after her name. Occupation. It refers to your mother's job. For example, dressmaker, cook, and etc. Then the last information in a biodata is applicant's signature. It shows your signature to signify that you have been truthful in your application. So, you have learned a lot about the personal data section of a biodata in details. On the next slide, I want you to remember the given guidelines in filling out forms accurately. Again, please read with me some guidelines for filling out forms accurately. Number 1. Make sure that the information you are giving is complete and accurate. Writing an incomplete address, for example, may make it difficult for the company you're applying to contact you by mail. Next, check if you spell the words, write the numbers correctly. Number 3, write neatly and legibly. Do not use pencil. Use only blue or black ink in filling out forms. Or better yet, use a typewriter or a computer and then submit forms on time. Find out when the deadlines are and comply with them. Okay, this time you will be filling out a biodata form yourself. I want you to fill it out neatly, completely, and accurately. Do this on a clean sheet of paper. Now this is the direction. Here is a blank form of a biodata. Fill it out with the necessary information with the help of an adult in your family. So in this activity, you are at the comfort of your homes. You may ask help from any adult and interview them. Remember class, your output will be rated according to the given scoring rubrics. You have 5 minutes to do this. Okay, I suppose you are done. Amazing! You now know how to fill out a biodata form. Now what are the other forms that you need to learn to fill out? Study and analyze the form on the next slide. Do you know what this form is? Have you experienced going with your mother or father or even going with an adult to a bank to deposit money or savings? Now look at the sample deposit slip. What do you need to write first? Yes, you write your name first. And please be sure to write the name of the owner of the account that you want your money to be deposited. What is the next to fill out? Okay, the account number. The account number is a very important information. So you really need to know the exact account number for you to deposit money in that account. Look at the right part of the deposit slip. What do you need to fill out in this portion? Okay, in here, you need to list the amount of each item that you are depositing, whether it's a cash or a check. What about in the lower portion of this form? What information do you need to fill out? Okay, you need to indicate the sum of all the items deposited. Then below it, write the amount of cash you want to be back. This is in case you're giving more of the exact amount that you want to deposit. Then finally, after you completely fill out the form, you are now ready to give the form to one of the tellers in the bank, but you have to wait until your priority number is called. So what is a deposit slip and what are the guidelines in filling out a deposit slip? So please read again with me. A deposit slip is a written order to your bank telling it to put funds into your savings account. You can use a deposit slip to put money such as cash, checks, and money orders into your account. Deposit slips vary from bank to bank. Now here are the guidelines in filling out a deposit slip. To fill out a deposit slip, here is what you need to do. First, fill out the complete date of the day you deposit the money to the bank. Next, fill out the name and account number. Then, write the amount of cash you are depositing on the top line. And then lastly, calculate the total deposit. Take the slip and the money you want to deposit to a teller at your bank. Now let's see the next line. Are you familiar with this form? Very good. It's a withdrawal slip. So just like a deposit slip, you also need to write the date, the account number, your complete name, and then affix your signature. Look at the lower part of the withdrawal slip. What do you need to fill out? Very good. You have to write the total amount of the money that you want to withdraw. Now, for example, you are asked to withdraw from the account of another person. What do you need to bring? You need to bring with you an authorization letter and valid IDs. This time, let us read the guidelines in filling out a withdrawal slip. But before that, let us read the meaning of a withdrawal slip. A withdrawal slip is a written order to your bank instructing it to withdraw funds from your account. Withdrawal slips vary from bank to bank. Now, here are the guidelines in filling out a withdrawal slip. First, fill out the complete date of the day you withdraw in the bank. Next, fill out the name and account number. And then, list the amount of money you want to withdraw. Then, finally, sign the withdrawal slip and take the slip to a teller at your bank. Now this is now your time to do activities on filling out a deposit slip and withdrawal slip. Okay, for your first activity, this is the direction. Identify the missing parts of the deposit slip and withdrawal slip. Please study and analyze the form. So what are the missing parts of the deposit slip? Very good. The missing parts are the name and then the total cash of the deposit. Okay, let's go to the withdrawal slip. Kindly study and analyze the form. What are the missing parts? Okay, class, as you can see in the form, the missing parts are the date. Why? Because it lacks the month. And then here, the name. It is also incomplete. It lacks the middle name and the last name. And then also the signature. It doesn't have a signature. Now look at the lower part of the withdrawal. Is the amount of the withdrawal completely filled out? No, because it lacks the cents. Okay. You already have learned at least 3 kinds of forms in the previous discussions. And what are those forms that you have learned? Okay, yes, they were the biodata form, deposit slip, and withdrawal slip. Okay, so this time you are going to learn another kind of form. It's a school ID application form. Do you have a school ID? Yes, of course, right? Do you remember how the information sheet for a school ID looks like? And what do you think is that very important information in a school ID which is not included in the 2 previous forms that we have discussed? Okay, it's the person to be notified in case of emergency. To whom that refers to? Okay, it refers to the person you want to be told in case something bad happens to you. He or she may be your father, mother, or your legal guardian. Now this time, I want you to listen to a story. But before it, may I ask you this question? What do you usually feel during first day of classes? That's awesome, children! Yes, we usually feel excited during first day of classes. Now please listen and be ready with the story. You are to answer some questions about the story after you have listened or read about it, okay? So what is the title of our story? Yes, the school opening. It's the first day of school, and I am so excited to meet my new classmates and teachers. Question class. What is the main character of the story excited about in the first day of classes? Very good. Okay, let's proceed. In this school, like any other schools, learners must wear IDs for their safety and identification. This is a school requirement that learners have known every year since the first day of class. Administrators and teachers also wear IDs around their necks. Now, why must learners wear IDs? Okay, very good. Let's continue. We have to wear IDs so we will be identified and the teachers will know whom to contact with whenever it is needed. School IDs can also be used to avail learner privileges when riding in public transportation such as buses. Okay, question. When can IDs also be used? Okay, you're right. Now let's proceed. The teacher started to hand over a piece of paper with spaces to write on. Suddenly, I remember my nanay filling out forms when she enrolled for the school year. But I'm not so sure if I remember all the information the form is asking me to write. Okay, now, what is that piece of paper that the teacher hand over with spaces to write on? Wow, amazing! Very good. Okay, let's proceed. Excuse me, Teacher Anne. Can you help me in filling out my form? I'm not sure how to do it. Sure. All you have to do is to answer all the details that the form is asking you, like your name, birthday, address, the name of your parents, and their contact numbers. Just make sure that the form is filled out neatly and all the texts are readable. Okay, class, can you answer the questions flashed on the screen? Okay, please prepare again your pens, your paper, and your pen. Answer the questions directly. Okay, let us now check your answers. Very good, children. Now this time, it's time for you to accomplish a school ID application form yourself. Okay, this is the direction for the activity. Using the information found in the sample school student ID, identify the information that must be filled in each part of the application form. Okay, so please study the sample student ID form. Okay, and then fill in the school ID application form using the details in the sample school student ID. I'll give you 5 minutes for this activity. Great job, children! Thank you for accomplishing this form accurately. In the next slide, you will be learning about another important form. Okay, here it is. What is the name of the form? Yes, it's an election ballot form. Have you tried to fill out an election ballot? When are you going to fill it out? Very good. Yes, we fill it out when we participate in an election, just like when we choose our student leaders in the school or elect for our community leaders. Now, how do you think are elections done? Very good. It is done through secret voting or by using a secret ballot. Do you think it's easy to fill it out? Of course, yes. Then what are you going to remember when filling out an election ballot? Okay, you must remember the names of the candidates that you will vote for. And after filling it out, just follow the instructions given to you by the Board of Election Inspectors. Okay, you have learned so much from our discussions today. Now let us summarize what we have learned about filling out forms accurately by filling the blanks with the correct answers. Okay, this is the direction. Make relevant links based on the series of lessons learned about filling out forms accurately. Fill in the blanks with correct answers and write your answers on your paper. Okay, what should you remember to fill out forms? What should you do to make it clean and neat? And what should you remember in giving out information? Okay. When filling out forms, number 1, read each item in the blank very carefully. Number 2, blank printed directions. Number 3, be precise in supplying the blank. 4, give true and correct blank. Avoid blank erasures. Handle the blank with utmost care. So what did you learn from this activity? You just learned that a form requires a lot of information, and the good news is that you know most of those because they are about you. Take note, all forms must be filled out correctly, completely, and neatly. Okay, this time it's time for me to test your learnings about filling out forms. Now it's time for me to test your learnings in these lessons. Please answer the assessment part. Okay, direction. Choose the letter of the best answer. Write the chosen letter on your paper. I'll give you 5 minutes to answer this one. Okay, let us now check your answers. Please refer to the answer key. Okay, who among you gets the score of 10? 9, 8, 7, 6, or 5? Okay, congratulations! Wow, very good! Okay, now children, I want you to copy the guidance form and fill it out. You may ask help from your parents or any adult in your homes for this activity. Okay, class, that's all for today. Thank you for learning with me.